Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the week ending 30th of December 2023. Weather erratic, making transport problematic. United are ecstatic after a win that's dramatic. Scenes from Gaza are traumatic, but Israel remains emphatic in its systematic destruction of Hamas fanatics. Russia continues its manic terror tactics. The period from Christmas to January the 1st is often a time when not much news occurs. But while the UK was quiet, the world kept turning. Overseas ongoing wars kept on churning. On Christmas Day, a refugee camp in Gaza became a humanitarian disaster. At the Al-Maghazi camp, at least 70 died, Palestinians with nowhere to run and no place to hide. As Israel's air onslaught went on, it seems self-restraint and precision have gone. Night and day and night, bomb after bomb, no one knows where the next bomb will come from. But we do know it is Israel doing the firing, and so more opponents it is inspiring, 'cause the more the pain of the Palestinians is felt, the more recruits jump onto the conveyor belt. It seems for Israel the only tangible result is thousands more joining the Hamas death cult. The 7th of October invasion has long passed, and Israel's defence of self-defence is receding fast. Every day that Israel's raids get bigger and bolder, the feet of the Western allies get colder. And the scenes in Gaza of death and mayhem caused Christmas to be cancelled in Bethlehem. Meanwhile, the Red Sea could soon turn red, with more innocent civilian blood being shed. For a month, commercial ships have been attacked by Houthis from Yemen, who are Iranian-backed. The Houthis, like Hezbollah and Hamas, insist Israel has no fundamental right to exist. The Houthis, backed by Iran's mighty mullahs, know on which mast in Gaza they pin their colours. Shias backing Shias, though in this situation Islam is united against one nation. Shia or Sunni, Palestinian or Yemeni, Israel represents the only enemy. And so, as we hurtle towards 2024, it looks like an escalating Middle East war. And the Ukrainian war is not going away either. The week ended with acrid smoke in the ether. A cloud covers swathes of Ukrainian land from Russia's biggest air attack since its land grab began. But the Ukrainians' resolve couldn't be firmer, often striking targets on Russian terra firma. And a Russian warship in Crimea was blown away, sunk by Storm Shadow missiles on Boxing Day. But Zelensky fears he's losing global attention, as his country these days barely gets a mention. While Gaza is taking the world's gaze away, Putin is stockpiling weapons and making hay. No end in sight to Ukrainian misery, and a final bleak week for 2023. The human race may be scared of AI and war, but people say we should fear global warming more. And one of the features of our planet warming is ever more volatile weather systems forming. In Britain this week came another named storm, with wind and rain considered to be beyond the norm. But did it merit giving a name to Storm Gerrit? Some think it's too much, they just don't get it. In the old days, every storm wasn't blessed with a name, but is that because the weather now just ain't the same? Is the present so much wetter and wilder? Was the past really that much calmer and milder? People in Greater Manchester would probably say so, as Gerrit hit Stalybridge with a tornado. Damage from high winds, flooding from rains, roads impassable, the cancellation of trains, loss of power from electricity mains, adding to many people's post-Christmas pains. So Garrett actually probably vindicated being labelled with a name for the chaos it created. And this all happened when just 3 days prior we had festive temperatures never higher. A mild Christmas day around Britain saw 2 places not dropping below 12.4. The warmest Christmas day we've ever had. But here's a footnote that makes that stat quite mad. In Scotland, flakes of snow fell in the night, so technically the UK's Christmas was white. Last week, a Paris strike brought Eurostar to a halt. On Saturday, it was Garrett floods that were at fault. Water in the tunnels caused the pumps to not function. So travellers on Saturday were left up the junction. Some festive football news on Christmas Eve, as Manchester United fans dared to believe. Jim Ratcliffe bought a shareholding of 25%. To their fans it was like an early Christmas present. The boss of Ineos and apparent Santa Claus has invested in the club and signed a clause that puts him in control of all football matters. For most United fans, that's all that matters. The Glazers will still be hanging around, hanging on to control, but in the background. For the red side of Manchester, that all sounds sound, with investment expected in the team and the ground. On Tuesday, Old Trafford was abuzz, excited, every player, woman and man united. Ready for the Ratcliffe reign to take off. By half-time the mood had once again troughed. Then suddenly the team got the crowd in a spin. From 2-0 down to Villa, they came back to win. A new era spectacularly ushered in.